and I'm here to talk about my first ayahuasca experience. This is the day after, so I'll be talking something. I will be talking about that also. Um, yeah, I always wanted to do ayahuasca, um, but I was always never really sure. I was always in a dilemma. Like, is this something for me? Is this right? Do I need this kind of knowledge? And I was very much convinced that I should only do it if I feel that I was ready for it. And something came over me in the start of this year, and I was like, I need to do it. Um, I am from the Netherlands, and I also did it in the Netherlands in a facility here. And I know like the the best way to do it is to go to Peru and with a shaman, and but I was not ready for that. Besides it being expensive as hell, um, I felt right with this ceremony. I felt like, you know, they got me. Um, so I went, and the reason why I did it, I was always searching for something, and I didn't really know what. And when I got in touch with ayahuasca, it was like it was exactly what I was looking for without even knowing what it is. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. So I went to the facility, and we had like or two. You get 2 rounds of tea, of the ayahuasca tea, and I did my first round. We were sitting in the circle. We did a little prayers and set our intentions, and then we got comfortable at our mattress. And then first we drank like the MAO, the things. I don't know what the exact translation is in English, but first we drank that, and that was just straight nasty. It was nasty. It was bitter and nasty. And after that, individually, we came to the kitchen kind of thing, and we drank the ayahuasca tea, or the ayahuasca. And I drank it, and I went to my mattress. I laid down, put my eye patch on because we had like eye patches for the darkness. And within a minute, I just puked everything out, like, and nobody was puking. It was only me, and I was like, damn. And I was looking in the bucket, and it was only the ayahuasca that I was seeing, not even like stuff inside of me. It was only the ayahuasca tea. So I was like, I just puked everything out. But that's only because it was so nasty, and I really couldn't hold it in. It was like something I never tasted. It had like a earthy kind of texture to it. So, it was nasty. So he was like, "No, but lay down, try to see if you feel anything." So I laid down, tried it for an hour. Then I said, "Yo, I really do not feel anything." Um, so he gave me another cup, and this one the same. Within a minute, puked everything out. Puke was only the ayahuasca. So he said, "Lay down again and try to see." And that's when um, I saw like little visuals, because it was like very little that I held in, I think. But I started seeing like, first I was just eyes closed and I didn't see anything, and then like underneath like the eye patch, I saw like one line of the outside world, and I was looking a bit like you're looking in a view like this, a little fake, or a little blurry. I'm sorry. And I saw an energy. I saw two energies, a red one and a purple one, and I could sense that these two energies were not just two colors flying around. These were people. I understood that for one reason. And the red energy was very small, and the the purple energy was quite bigger, and it was moving so beautiful, and they were interacting with each other, and the purple energy kept wanting attention from the red one, and the red one didn't give in. And then when the red one finally gave in, the purple one was already gone, and I kept staring at it to see, is he gonna come back? But he didn't. Funny how I'm talking about it as a he, but he or she didn't come back. And I think that really had to do a lot with my current relationship, about how it started and how because we fight quite a lot. I thought that there was like a view of how it really is, of how it is. I keep trying, but at one point we're done. And that's what I saw. And then I opened my eyes, or I closed and opened my eyes again, and it was all gone. And then I was like, okay, I still don't feel anything. That was the only thing I felt, so I was like, nah. So I called the instructor, and he said, okay, we can do another round, but maybe a smaller dose so you can keep it in. So I took a smaller dose, and he gave me like a mint kind of thing to suck on after. And that was really helpful because it was really the taste, the bitterness, it really made me very you see, I'm getting nausea right now. No, but it really made me nausea. Am I saying it right? I'm not sure. But yeah, so that was really good. So if you have a weak stomach, I don't have a weak stomach because I can eat nasty food and keep it in, but for some reason with this I couldn't. And that was also something I was really scared that, because when I drank the tea the first 2 times, it was like it was fighting inside of me, and I was like, maybe Mother Ayahuasca is telling me right now, don't do it, you're not ready. But then like another part of me say, you only live once, so you better do it. So yeah, but if you have a weak stomach, take a mint or something, or like a tangerine or something, because it really is, because you're gonna puke, and it's not purging like you're getting all the bad stuff out of you. It's like purging what you just drank, you're purging it out. So if you have a weak stomach, bring like a mint or something. But yeah, that was really helpful. So then I finally kept it in. So that was like, okay, now I can lay down, relax, and I started closing my eyes. And I was like, no, before I go into this whole journey, I need to go to the toilet. And I went to the toilet, and I was peeing standing up. And I saw myself in like a tile. I saw myself in a reflection. And I was aging. And it was all quite normal to me to see myself age. I didn't get scared. Was like, whoa. I was really looking at it as if I'd seen it before. Probably because it was me. And after the aging, I see myself morphing. I still cannot put my finger around in what I was morphing into, but I was morphing into something, and I didn't even look at it like, what the fuck, what am I morphing into? I was looking at it like, it's a side of me, it's a part of me. Like I seen that whole, it wasn't human what I was seeing, it wasn't the whole image, it wasn't human. My reflection was not human, but for some reason I knew that was me, and it didn't freak me out. So I was looking at it, and I saw myself morphing into things, and I was like, what we're seeing is just what we're seeing is just a reality that we made, and we are much more than that. So I want to get deeper into that, but I remember that like the instructor or the facilitator, he said, if you go to the toilet, don't lock the doors because you might stay in there forever. So I was like, oh shit, I locked the door. So I opened it, and I was like, let me just get back to my mattress. So I went back to my mattress, and then the vibration started to come up, and like a lot of people, they hear like a strong voice talking in their ear and see clear visuals, but that was not what was happening to me. I was feeling myself vibrating, and I was thinking, but I was thinking on a higher level. Like, when you have like a discussion, it's like 2 people having a discussion, talking about a subject. It was like me and me were talking about me, if you could quite understand what I'm saying. It was like I was asking myself questions, and different subjects just popped up that I had to think about. And while these questions came up, it was like I had the answer, and I didn't really see anything visual. I felt it. I'm sorry, I have it written down here because I forget like a lot of stuff. So yeah, I'm a very visual person. So if I see it, I believe it. If I don't see it, I do not believe it. And I was looking around and I saw people shaking, turning around, and I saw that they were seeing things. And I was like, but I'm not seeing anything. And then I realized, like, after a while, I was looking and I saw a glow around everybody. And it was a glow of energy. It was a vibrating energy around everybody. And looking at some people, I can see what they were going through in their journey, and I could see it in the vibration of their energy, and I felt it. I saw the energy, I felt it, and I understood. And that's when I came back to myself, and I was like, maybe that's why I'm not seeing anything right now, or not hearing anything right now, because that was what I was waiting for. And I was like, no, maybe that's the barrier that I need to break, is that you don't have to see things. Sometimes you have to feel it, because energy is vibration. And it's very hard to put into words what I saw. But it was, I saw the vibration, and the vibrations, the energy was talking to me. It wasn't a voice. You know, some people see visuals like all kinds of shapes and colors. I didn't see it. The energy that I saw and that I felt, that's what talked to me, and that's what I understood. It was like a language of energy, to say it like that, and I spoke it. And I saw one person. He was laying right across from me, and he was fighting. He was fighting so much, and just looking at him, and looking at the glow, the energy glow that was around him, I saw his journey, and I saw how he was fighting, and it was so beautiful to me. I didn't have to be him to see what he was going through and what he was seeing, and that was quite intriguing. And that was the moment when I realized, okay, every journey is different, and mine is going to teach me about energy. Mine is going to teach me about vibration, and that was quite beautiful. And that's when I really got into my own experience. And that's when I closed my eyes, and then I heard something tell me, or I felt something telling me, open your eyes. And I opened my eyes exactly in the position that I was in, and I was looking at a lotus tree. They had like a little tiny statue of a lotus tree at the window that was exactly in my eyesight. And it was a lotus. I don't know if y'all know what a lotus tree looks like, but it's like a beautiful tree, and on every branch it had like colored lotus flowers, and each color represented a chakra. And I was looking at it, and I've always had a feeling every time I'm meditating that like my chakras are not open, and I try to open them and I work on opening them, but never do I actually feel like they are being opened. And while I was looking at this tree, I'm getting goosebumps all over because it was so beautiful. As I'm looking at this tree, I get so drawn to the third eye chakra, the purple one, or the indigo. And I was looking at it, and it became so clear, so detailed, so, you know, if I'm looking at it right now, I see a lot of details, but the details that I saw were so beautiful. And as I'm focusing on the third eye chakra, lotus, the branch, it reached to me. He gave me the flower, and it was like I reached for it to grab it, and that's when I think it was over. That was the moment that I opened my third eye chakra. I grabbed it, and I felt this flow coming through me, and I felt that, and that was the moment that I started seeing more things. That the glows that I saw around people were stronger. That when I looked around the room, I saw like this right room, but gold energies were flowing around like I was in heaven. And that's when I kind of realized, like, it might not be 100% open, but, you know, Mother Ayahuasca she gave me, you know, the lotus tree, it gave me its branch, and it was the branch of my third eye chakra, and I was so grateful that I was able to witness that. So yeah, that was very beautiful, and that was something I took with me. And now I'm just trying to figure out, like, why didn't any other chakra came to me, and why did it stop after that one? Are they already opened, or am I just ready for this one yet? So yeah, ayahuasca is not it doesn't give you like all the answers that you need. Sometimes it gives you like a start, and you need to start figuring out how you're gonna how you're gonna get to the finish line. So yeah, and after that I was starting to become very aware of everything. Behind the lotus tree, it was a normal tree outside that was dancing in the wind, and it was so beautiful. And while I was looking at it, first I saw in the middle of the dancing tree, I saw not dancing tree, it was literally like a normal tree, and there was the wind and the leaves were dancing in it. I saw one leaf, and it was dancing with it, but it was not connected to the tree. It was just there. So that's when my focus started to be very much on the tree. And yeah, I was looking at it, and I didn't see anything extraordinary. It was just a tree there in the wind with the leaves. But I felt the vibration. I felt the energy coming from the tree. And the energy, it came to me. And at one point, it was like the tree was waving at me. I was asking, wave at me. Are we connected? And wow, this was great. I was connected to the tree. And that's when I knew one is all and all is one. And it was just, I knew it already because I'm a very spiritual person. So I knew this. But this was the first time I experienced it. It was the first time that I felt one with what I was looking at. I felt what the tree felt. I felt what everybody else around me felt, because when I got that from looking at the tree, I was looking around and I was like, we are connected with everything. Everything here is just a big pile of energy. And energy goes through each other, so we are all connected. And that was just very beautiful and very emotional for me to see, even though you know it already. Getting actually being told that it's the truth, that's a very beautiful sensation. So that was very, very, very beautiful. And at one point I was hearing the music, and the music that was on, it was a male voice talking, and it was telling me it's alright to be you. Learn to accept you. You are perfect as you are right now. Your soul is pure, your soul is beautiful, and you need to accept that. And those words came they hit so close to home, because all my life I've always been questioning, am I good the way I am? I've always missed me growing up. I've always missed somebody being there for me. I never knew what it was like to have somebody there for you. And I didn't see, or I didn't hear anybody saying, I'm here for you. But the vibration and the energy that was around me, I finally had the feeling, for the first time in my life, I had the feeling of what it was like to have somebody there for you, to have love. It was the first time I felt that, and I was so emotional. It was like a hole that I didn't know how it felt. I didn't know how it felt to have somebody being there for you, and I felt it at that moment, and I got so emotional. And at that point I started crying, and I was bawling like a baby. It was crazy. I was crying so much And I remember while I was crying, I was starting to become like a baby. And it was like for 5-10 minutes I was crying so hard. And then I was like, when you're just being born, you're crying and your arms are just going like this. It was really that. And I was feeling reborn. I was feeling that, because having somebody there in my childhood, that was the feeling I missed. And it was like I was being reborn, but this time I was being born with that feeling. So that was very beautiful. It was very beautiful. And then I was really questioning, like, because my intention for this whole ceremony is, who am I? Who is me? Who is Gizmaro? And I started seeing so many different things about who I was, different thoughts. I didn't see anything visually. And I was very bummed about that, because I was like, I want to see visuals. I want to see all that stuff that everybody be talking about. But I felt it. I was asking, who am I? Who am I? Because I don't know. I'm lost, I said. And it just made me feel all these sensations of who I am, all these feelings I feel on a daily. It came to me, and I understood why I felt that. And I understood why I was feeling how I was feeling. That it was very weird, because I didn't see any visuals, but then I saw very big my name is Gizmaro Noslin, and I saw like a strong font standing in front of me, said Gizmaro Noslin, and it was so strong, and I was like, I read it, and I was like, that's me, and I know that's me, and I accept that that's me. And it took something so little, and I still don't exactly know what I've been witnessing at that point, but it was something so little that I seen. And then finally, because I never knew who I was. I've knew who I was, but I was always searching for who I really was. And feeling all these vibrations of emotion coming to me. Something so little, like having your name written in front of you, that made me realize who I was. Seeing that made me realize who I was. And that was so beautiful. That was so beautiful. And then I was really fighting the ayahuasca. I was very scared about the whole situation, if I was doing it right. And after this, I felt like, I hope I'm doing it right, because I'm still not getting any visuals. And then I opened my eyes, and I saw somebody who was also doing the ceremony. He was sitting straight up from his mattress, and he was sitting, and he was looking at me. And he probably got a whole different scenario of what happened there. But how he looked at me, it was like he was Mother Ayahuasca, and he was looking at how I'm going through this journey, because it was a very judging look that I got from him, a very judging look, but not judging in a bad way. It was judging in a way like, okay, keep going, you'll get there. That was the look that I got. And I was looking, and I was like, because I all the time I felt like, where is Mother Ayahuasca? I want to meet her. And I'm gonna be honest, I still don't think I've met her. I only felt her presence. But seeing him sitting straight ahead, just looking at me and judging my experience, or judging my journey, it was like, you're there. And I was like, I need to put my big boy my big boy shoes on and keep going. And that's when I laid back down, and I was like, okay, let's keep going. then we were getting towards the end, and I was like, it was because I took the ayahuasca, the last one finally stayed inside of me, and so I was kind of late with the whole drinking the herb. So two people left. The two guys who were doing it also, they left, and I was only in the room with the woman, and the facilitator, he was making some fruit ready for the other people. So I was in the room alone with her, and she was still on her journey. I was still on my journey, and I saw that the door was closed, the facility door, and that's when I started panicking. I didn't see that, like, the facilitator, he wasn't here, and the door was closed. I was like, I'm alone. What am I gonna do? And then I looked at the door, and how I was so scared of me looking at that door. I was like, the door need to open. The door need to open. And the door damn opened. And I was like, wow. I was like, wow. And that was such a brief of comfort. And I saw so many things. And I have like many more things that I've seen and witnessed and felt. But it being the day after, it's so hard to wrap your mind around everything. I can remember half of it because it was so, my intention was to find out who am I. And what I actually got was like the whole package. But I think the main thing that I learned is that the world is nothing but energy, and that the world is nothing but vibration. And I think that's why I didn't see any shapes or colors or any of that. Like, usually people see what they say, I see a kaleidoscope and stuff. I think me not seeing that was for a reason. I think I really needed to learn that the world is a vibration. That the world is energy. Everything is energy. Everything is connected. I think that was the lesson that I mostly needed to learn. Besides, who am I? So yeah, it's so many other things that I can tell you guys, but it's so many things that I still have to remember. I still have to think on. But this being the day after, I remember driving home. I was being picked up by a very good friend of mine, and there was a lot of nature around us. And me driving through that on the road, I just saw the trees, and the trees were just filled with energies, and it was floating all around the area, and it was so beautiful. And that's what I really got, and I still have it every time I look outside and I see the trees, because I have a lot of trees on my window. Usually I just saw a tree, but now I see life, and this is the first time that I'm so aware of life, and so aware of the world, and so aware of love. Because I realized we're hurting nothing but ourselves when we're hurting the earth, when we're hurting animals, when we're hurting everything. We're hurting ourselves. And I'm so grateful that I thought that this was being taught to me, because I'm gonna be honest, I was quite disappointed going home, thinking like, I have not seen what all these people were talking about. But even today, like, I see such a change every time. Like, I just went to the store an hour ago, and usually you pay attention to all the big things that's on the road, but this time now I pay attention to this little of a leaf that's standing in the whole freaking forest. I see this one leaf. I'm so aware of emotion. When people talk to me, I can feel their emotion in my voice. I don't know if you've seen the movie The Celestine Prophecy. That's also very emotion based, and there you also see like a glow around people. And I'm not a superhuman. I can't see like a glow around people. That was only when I was on the trip, but I don't see it, but I can feel it. And that's really what I got. I'm so aware, and I think with my whole third eye chakra opening, I feel like I just feel like, you know, that was that I needed. I needed that. I really needed that. So I will say your life has definitely changed after this, and I see a lot of experience. I've saw like a million videos online about trip reports about ayahuasca, but no, not one seemed to match mine. And I didn't want to make a video because I'm a very private person. But I think many more people will have their first experience as this, or maybe I can give you a heads up that it's okay if you don't see anything. If it's okay if you don't hear no voices. Just make sure that you pay attention to everything that you do get, because I'm telling you guys, learning about energy and vibration the way that I did, it's something. It's beautiful. I remember looking at my hand, and it was becoming transparent as I was looking at it, and I saw like these little tiny electricity things come out of my hand, that I was just a big ball of energy. And you never look at life the same. And sometimes, I was like, okay, I'm gonna see very big things in order for me to understand it. Like, I'm gonna go to outer space, and I'm gonna see how the world was created. But ayahuasca showed me such simple yet such beautiful things. Yeah, I will never forget this experience. I will be, I was always living with a constant insecurity, with a constant voice of doubt, and a constant voice of not being completely happy. And I have so much calm in my head. So much calm. I'm not thinking everything over. I understand things. I can listen better. I encourage everybody to do it, but I do not encourage you to do it right now. Do it when you're ready. It's something. It's something. But that was the end.